Welcome to the stage of history. I am your illustrious host, Kevin Uncanny Anytime. Rise and shine, everyone. That's going to be my new good morning. Is rise and shine, y'all. We need to rise and shine our beautiful light. Okay, we need to rise and shine our incredible power within us, all right? And that's being light and love. And now, that's not to say that sometimes you won't fall out of the light, right? And you slip into some dark times and dark thoughts and things like that. But it is to say that if we continuously repeat and remind ourselves to rise and to shine, then that'll help us to stay more on course of where we want to go, right? And I got a good one for you guys today, man. Today, I wanted to talk about something that is important. It's very, very, very important. And it's not repeated enough, in my opinion. It's not repeated enough. And I think that there's a lot of confusion when it comes to this particular topic. And the confusion comes from, how much further into the future that you need to project, and how often that needs to be looked at, and how much importance that there needs to be on that specifically. So the topic I got for you guys is one step at a time. One step at a time. Okay, that's it. One step at a time. I woke up this morning, and what was interesting to me is I was just like, it just felt really, really different. It felt like, okay, I go to sleep, I wake up, the day is new, quote unquote, like new, it's a new day. Is it really a new day? I was like, wait a minute, man. Like, what if the days what if it's just one day that resets every time you go to sleep? What if you're reliving that same day, and we were thinking we're moving forward, but it's really just one day that keeps repeating, and then you get better at it? I wonder if you guys have ever seen Groundhog Day. It reminds me of that. That's kind of how I felt this morning. I was just like, okay, what's the difference between yesterday and today? It's really just my feelings. It's really just how I felt about the day. There's really, maybe, well, here in Phoenix, Arizona, the weather doesn't change much, so you can easily slip into some Groundhog Day type of vibes. But I wanted to really help you guys to analyze that and think about that, because if we look at it that way, though, let's look at it that way. Let's just try to actually grab that idea and be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, every day is the one day. It's just one day. There isn't multiple days, right? There isn't, oh, now we're in June, now we're in January, now we're in February. Like, what if you just eliminated all of that? What if you just said, forget it? It's just the day. It's just today. What is today? Screw Monday, Tuesday, all of that. Like, it's just today. Like, today is just today. Today I woke up. Today I am grateful. Today I'm here. Today I'm alive. Right? What if we just looked at it like that? One step at a time. So it's like, okay, I have this massive opportunity, I'm going to call it, to build all of these things. The Shopify, the clothing page, which entails building the website, building the actual models for the gear. And then I get to build a personal website. Now, I can outsource a lot of this, but initially, since this is my idea, I want to, as I have this time allotted to myself, I want to methodically look at it and plan it out and place it specifically the way I want to, so that when I do have a particular team, then I would like to be able to give them the delegation of things like, hey, this is how this goes, this is where this goes, and this is how this should look, and then this is the idea behind this. Like, that's why I'm going through the entire process, because it's Shopify. It's going on the new platform and creating the elements of life along with the Mindset Matters program. And then I'm just copying the elements of life. I already have all of that done, but then also creating the elements of life, or I'm sorry, the Mindset Matters program, which is going to cover everything holistically. The elements of life brings you back to your spiritual self. The Mindset Matters is very mindset driven. It's going to cover various areas of our lives, financial, health, all of it combined. So as I have all of these things, right? It's all of this stuff. It's like, oh, it's so much. Oh. It's just one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Focus on one thing at a time. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like you have so much to do? You're so overwhelmed. You have so many different things. Even with our families and kids, and setting aside time for them. And it's just one step at a time. I'm doing my best to get better at scheduling this and placing it on a calendar and having the alarm set so that I'm reminded, hey, this is the time to do this. Hey, this is the time to do this. Because that helps in all of that process to just go to the next step, right? And as we're going through that process, it's for us to just make sure that we're going in a pace that is a sense of urgency, but at the same time a comfortable pace that isn't stressing you out and overwhelming you, right? So each day I do a little bit of the elements of life, copy and paste, and I make sure that I do the reels. I make sure that I do the YouTube stuff. Like, it's just one step at a time, guys. I didn't like how I was feeling. I felt overwhelmed because of the amount of things that need to be done, but the time is allotted. The time, we all have the time. It's a very interesting dynamic, because there's a toss up where people are like, you don't have time, stop acting like you have so much time. And it's like, why and it's like, okay, sure, I get it, because unforeseen occurrences befall us all. And there's this, oh, get it up, but everybody doesn't operate like that, and it's not beneficial for everyone to operate like that. And my personal opinion is that's a very scarcity. It's a very scarce, scary, fearful way to live. And I've always enjoyed going through the process, creating it in my time frame, and doing it the way that I know it needs to be done, and allowing myself to be able to look at it and refine it and really hone in on how I believe it should be taking place. And that brings me great fulfillment. And then that shows in the different projects and things like that I create, is because I had the time, I had the energy, I had the focus, I had the joy, and not this pressure of now there are certain times where that's going to be necessary, but for me, the majority of the time, I want to be in a free-flowing state. I want to be in a joyful, I want everything to come out of a place of joy. And so if you're anything like that, then what we want to do is champion the idea of it's okay. We have the time. I took 2 years out of my life writing articles, and I had the mindset of, okay, just one page a week. Write one page a week, Kev. Write one page a week. And lo and behold, with that mentality, I have completed 2 books and I'm on to my third. So I did have the time. I could force myself to have this anxiety and be like, oh, I don't have the time. I gotta hurry up and get it up. And then it doesn't come out correctly. But because I told myself, you have the time, just complete one thing at a time, just 1 week, 1 page a week. And we get so sometimes caught up in the timing of things, and I need to blah blah blah, and it's like there are years flying by, y'all. There are years flying by, and all it takes is sometimes very small, simple steps, one step at a time, one thing at a time. I put it down 1 week, 1 week, one article a week gave me 52 weeks, 52 pages. Bam, done. Right? And so that's what I'm encouraging you guys to grab hold of that idea, because especially if we are claiming, I can, create my world, and I can, make these things happen for me in my life, then why wouldn't you say I have the time as well? Why wouldn't you tell yourself that? Why wouldn't you project that out of, yes, I do have the time? Not to be in a lazy state and to say, oh, I got the time and not do anything. But what I'm saying is saying you have the time and taking the steps to get things accomplished, and not go dive deep into overwhelm and stress, because that's not going to help you to produce a good vibrational product, or whatever you're trying to produce, or the energy output. It's not going to be a good energy output, in my opinion, guys. So just take one step at a time, y'all. Didn't want to make this one too long. I'm gonna go up and down depending on what we're talking about. This topic is pretty straightforward. Okay. Making sure, one, that if you are a creator of your existence and your world and things like that, ensure that you tell yourself you have the time, and then make sure you're taking action behind that. Okay. And two, remember that it's the day. What are you doing in the day? What are we doing in the day, y'all? That's the only thing that needs to be focused on. Everything else will fall in place if we are creating the day's tasks and completing the day's tasks over time. It will amount to something larger. Like the 1 page a week. Over time, it amounted to an entire book, right? So I take that approach to a lot of different things. Okay, so really hone in on those ideas, guys. I really, really hope that it benefits you. It truly has benefited me. I'm very proud of myself that I got those books completed and that I'm on to another one. That was something I set out as a long-term goal a few years ago, and we met that goal. So that's something to celebrate, and to congratulate yourself and to reward yourself for accomplishing those things, right? So when you do over time and you finally get to where you're trying to go in one particular area, congratulate yourself. All right, reward yourself. That's important. But yeah, just one step at a time, one day at a time. Have the long-term goal, but don't get overwhelmed. Don't focus too much on how far into the future it's going to be. The small steps are the small building blocks that are going to lead you. And I'm going to leave you with this last thing, because I remember this just at the last minute, the Will Smith thing. Will Smith was saying that he was working with his dad at his job. And what happened was, he was like, son, how do you think we're going to, make this entire building? And he was like, I don't know, it looks big or something like that. I could be chopping up the story, but the idea was that it was like, whoa, this is a huge task to like lay all of these bricks down and build this wall. It was a wall, to build this big old wall. And he was like, son, it's just one brick at a time. Just lay that brick down as perfectly, place it as perfectly as you possibly can, and then move on to the next one. That's what we want to do, y'all. That's the message. That is how we want to conduct ourselves. For the ones that resonate with this, for the ones that feel that, for the ones that don't like that rush type of mentality. All right. Love you guys. Love you guys very, very much. All right. Focus on the good. Okay, focus on the good. Focus on the good things that are happening, even in the midst of some of the nonsense we go through. Let's try and find opportunity out of it. Okay, focus on that. And then just remember, guys, that mindset matters. This is a mindset thing. Mindset matters more than anything else. All right. Love you guys again. Anytime.